Hello friends, I'm Hema Rai, Assistant Professor, IIMT College of Law. Today's topic is writ. Why writ is important and what is writ? It is a formal written order issued by court. If this order comes, certain action to be taken by the higher officials. Writs is a remedy. Article 32 empowers the Supreme Court to issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights. The five types of writs available under Article 32. First, habeas corpus, a writ that assures an individual's release from unlawful detention. Second, mandamus, a writ that orders a public official or authority to perform a public duty. Third, prohibition. Prohibition, a writ that prohibits a lower court or tribunal from exceeding its jurisdiction. Fourth, certiorari. Certiorari writ that seeks the quashing of an order passed by a lower court or tribunal. Quo warranto writ that inquires into the legality of a person holding a public officer. Article 32 of the Indian Constitution is a crucial provision that plays a pivotal role is safeguarding the fundamental rights of Indian citizens, often referred to as the right to constitutional remedy. This article empowers individuals to seek justice from the Supreme Court of India when their fundamental rights are violated. This article grants the Supreme Court the power to issue direction, orders, and writs for the enforcement of these fundamental rights. In this article, we will development into the provision of Article 32 and provide a summary of relevant case law that have shaped its interpretation and implementation. Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, the right to move the Supreme Court by appropriate proceedings for the enforcement of the rights conferred by this part is guaranteed. This provision established the right of individual to approach the Supreme Court directly for the protection and enforcement of their fundamental rights. It empowers the Supreme Court as the guardian of the Constitution and ensure that a citizen have a meaningful mechanism to seek redressal when their rights are infringement upon. Article 32 under the Indian Constitution. Article 32 is considered the heart and soul of the Constitution. It is an essential safeguard for protecting the fundamental rights enshrined in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. The provision grants individual a fundamental right to move the Supreme Court directly for the enforcement of their fundamental rights, thereby ensuring quick and effective remedies. Article 32 is a fundamental right in itself, and any law or action that seeks to upright a crucial this rights is subject to security by the judiciary. Article 32 has been instrumental in fostering public interest litigation, allowing public spirited individuals and organizations to seek legal remedies on behalf of marginalized section of society. Writs is a 5 types. Rights of habeas corpus. If any person is arrested wrongly, then the court will issue a writ of habeas corpus. This means police officer who arrests him or his should bring the arrested man in front of justice. Justice will inquire the case. If the mistake was not proven, then the man will release. If the duty of the officer to prove the mistake. Habeas corpus is a writ that is enforced to protect the fundamental right to liberty of an individual against unlawful detention. This writ commands a public official to deliver a detained person in front of the court and provide valid reason for the detention. However, this writ cannot be issued in case the proceeding is for contempt of a legislature or a court. Writ of mandamus. Mandamus is for processing or starting the work. This order issued by the court. If court order with the help of writ, then the respective officer should do the work in an immediate manner. The writ of mandamus is issued to a subordinate court, an officer of the government or a corporation or other institution commanding the performance of certain acts or duties. Unlike habeas corpus, mandamus cannot be issued against a private individual. The writ of mandamus can be used to order the completion of a task, or in other cases, it may require an activity to be ceased. Now, writs of prohibition. Prohibition writ. This order is issued to the officer not to do the work out of your area. Prohibition is a writ issued by a higher court to a lower court to enforce inactivity in the jurisdiction. It happens only in case the higher court is of the discretion that the case falls outside the jurisdiction of the lower court. Writ of prohibition can only be issued against judicial and quasi-judicial authorities. Writ of certiorari. This order is issued to the below courts or officer to transfer the case record to the respective people as mentioned in the order copy. The writ of certiorari is issued to a lower court directing that the transfer of a case for review unusual to overrule the judgment of the lower court. The Supreme Court issued the writ of certiorari in case the decision passed by the lower court is challenged by the party. It is issued in a case the higher court finds it a matter of over jurisdiction or lack of jurisdiction. It is one of the mechanisms by which the fundamental rights of the citizen are upheld. Writ of quo warranto. If any people is affected by officer, he can raise the question to the court that I have doubt this public servant do not have proper qualification in this matter. He affected me. So this order given to the officer that he should explain his proper qualification to the court or to the member in that matter. Quo warranto is issued against a person who claims or observes a public officer. Through this writ, the court inquires by what authority the person supports his or her claim. Through this writ, the court inquires into the legality of a claim of a person to a public office. This writ prevents the illegal assumption of a public office by an individual. Some fundamental rights is suspended. Which fundamental right can suspend? Fundamental right can be suspended in the case of national emergency as mentioned under Article 352. The six fundamental right under Article 19 are automatically suspended in the case national emergency is imposed on ground of war or external aggression, which is stated under Article 358. Article 359 has the clause for suspension of other rights. In that case, a separate notification has to be issued by the President. The rights mentioned under Article 20 and 21 can never be suspended. Now we will discuss about important case, important judgment or landmark judgment under Article 32. Like ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla. This landmark case, popularly known as the habeas corpus case also, raised significant questions regarding the scope and limitations of Article 32. The Supreme Court, in a controversial decision, held that during an emergency, the right to move the court under Article 32 stood suspended. However, this decision was widely citizen and eventually overruled by the Supreme Court. A subsequent judgment reaffirming the significance of Article 32 as a fundamental right. This case was very important, and another one case is also important for habeas corpus. Rudal Shah versus Rudal Shah versus State of Bihar. In this case, Rudal Shah, Rudal Shah versus and next judgment is Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. In this case, the Supreme Court expansively interpreted the scope of Article 32, emphasizing that the right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 could not be restricted by the literal interpretation of the Constitution. The court held that the procedure established by law must be fair, just, and reasonable. This judgment broadened the horizons of the fundamental rights and reinforced the significance of Article 32 as a powerful tool for protecting individual liberties. Next case, Badhwa Mukti Morcha versus Union of India. This case dealt with the exploitation of bonded laborers and highlighted the significance of Article 32 in providing access to justice for the marginalized and opposed section of society. The Supreme Court held that Article 32 could be invoked not only by aggrieved individual but also by public spirited person or organization on their behalf. This widened the standing and locus standi for filing petitions under Article 32. Next case, State of Karnataka versus Union of India. In this case, the importance of Article 32 as a fundamental right and clarified that the court has a constitutional obligation to intervene and protect fundamental rights when they are violated. The Supreme Court emphasized that it is the duty of the court to strike down any law or action that is arbitrary, unreasonable, or violative of fundamental rights. Now, I conclude of all writs. Article 32 of the Indian Constitution serves as a powerful tool for protecting and enforcing fundamental rights. It empowers individuals to directly approach the Supreme Court for redressal when their rights are infringed upon. Over the years, through various landmark judgments, the Supreme Court has expanded the scope and interpretation of the Article 32, ensuring that it remains a crucial safeguard for individual liberties. The provision has played a vital role in promoting social justice, addressing inequality, and protecting the rights of marginalized section of society. Article 32 stands as a testament to the commitment of the Indian Constitution towards upholding and preserving the fundamental rights of its citizens. Thank you so much.